Goes to Lexington this weekend. Win a low-scoring game, 2-1 on Friday. Lose in Game 2 on Saturday, and then they come back and have a solid, really dominating performance yesterday to get the series win yesterday. Mike Bianco is the head baseball coach at Ole Miss. He joins us on the Farm Bureau phone line. And, Coach, congratulations on a series win on the road. That's twice you've gone on the road in 3 SEC weekends and gotten the series win. What did you think about the weekend?
You know, it's always good, as you kind of mentioned, to win on Sunday and coming back. But it was one of those where we're just glad that we kind of got the bats going again. And one of the things I think we were worried about going into the weekend is I don't know the way to say it, but maybe the hangover effect from the weekend before against a really good Tennessee team. Could we get back to being us? And we struggled the first 2 days offensively, but boy, did we swing it yesterday. I thought we really pitched it really well throughout the weekend, except for maybe 2 or 3 innings in relief, on Saturday. But overall, when you win 2 out of 3 on the road in our league, it's a good thing.
You kind of shook things up with your rotation this weekend. You go with Dylan DeLucia on Friday, and boy, he just really kind of gave you everything you possibly could have asked for, and maybe then some. Yeah,
and really, to be honest with you, Richard, it really wasn't a rotation. And so one of the things, the messages to the staff and then even going forward is, there's been so much made of this rotation. It seems like it's the most asked about, not just this year, but for the last few years. It's the question, right? What's your rotation? And obviously it's a really important piece, but we just, to be honest with you, haven't thrown it very well from the beginning of the games. But the bullpen has been really strong, and so we decided to say, hey, listen, we don't really know. We're going to play one game at a time. We're going to watch the film. We're going to look at the scouting report. We're going to pick the guy that we think gives us the best shot in the first inning. And you may throw 1, you may throw 3, you might throw 5. We'll see how it goes, but kind of be in that reliever mode, all hands on deck. I wanted them to start getting the mentality of coming to the field, wanting the ball and wanting a chance to pitch versus pitching once a week. And, again, you're right. Dylan threw it really well. I thought Hunter threw it well. And of course, Wash threw it well on Sunday, but I thought we threw it well out of the pen as well.
All right, so 2 parts to that. Number one, how have your guys reacted to that? Because that is a different mindset that is than is kind of traditional. And then what about you kind of going down that road? Because,
I've never done it before.
Right.
And, we've never done it. And, I've tried to purposely not call it the opener because it's not like we're starting Brandon Johnson where you go, hey, we're just going to get the, one time through the lineup or 1 or 2 innings. I mean, if we're going to keep you in there like a reliever as long as you handle it, we're going to leave you in there. But also with the mindset of, just pitch like it's the fall in an inter-squad game. And I don't mean without the pressure. I mean with the mentality of, my job is to, like out of the bullpen, to get 3 outs and get my team off the field and get my team to the plate. And, you don't get a trophy for being the Friday night guy or the Saturday or the Sunday guy, when you're pitching in March or April or any time. At the end of the day, the job is to win. And what we wanted to do is to get back to the mentality of we want to pitch 27 really good innings. How many innings can we pitch well this weekend? Because, we're not pitching it well enough to win, in our league, and we have to pitch it better. And I think the guys were really receptive. They understood that through the season to this point, we were averaging less than 4 innings per start. So we really weren't having any starting pitching, right? I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people were pitching out of the bullpen.
Yeah, you brought up Brandon Johnson's name, and I kind of think about how important the closer is, the guy to go out and get those last 3, or maybe it's those last 6 outs, and maybe he's got to go out there a couple of times. And you've had so many good closers, most recently Taylor Broadway, but, I mean, Stephen Head's done it, and Scott Biddle's done it, and just, lots and lots of guys in the couple of decades that you've been the head coach at Ole Miss. What's the temptation to take a guy like Brandon Johnson and stick him at the front of the game because you know what he's capable of and because of his talent versus, man, it sure is nice to have that guy that can go out and get those hard 6 outs to finish it off.
It's a great question, and it's one that I struggle with at times. We've done it. We've moved Stephen Head from a closer to a starter. We moved Biddle from a closer to a starter. But usually when we've done it, we had another guy at the back end that we thought could handle it. Because, man, it's a good feeling when you get deep into the game with a lead that you're going to run a guy out that everybody, not just me, but everybody's got confidence that this is our best shot at the end of the game. And right now we don't have that guy. I think Brandon could start. I think he could go deep into the game. I think his stuff, plays that he could do that. The problem right now is that we don't have that guy at the end, and we want to make sure that we haven't been in a lot of close games. I think we've been in 3 games that are 2 runs or less the entire season of the 27.
Wow. I asked Chris Lemonis about this earlier. I'm curious because of what happened in Nashville this weekend with Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Your perspective on the process of bat stickers before the game. Is there any ambiguity in what the rules are? How can a bat that's not supposed to be in the game end up in a game?
Well, you're right, and I think what it's going to come down to is the umpire. And I hate to put it on the umpires. I don't think that's the umpire's fault, but I think that's where it's going to go to, where you're going to see more and more of that, catchers picking the bats up and looking and see if they have the proper sticker and so on. I don't want to get into the conspiracy theory of illegal bats or was it done purposely or not. I don't know, but all I know is it's pretty straightforward. You bring your bats before the series, they put a sticker on it. They changed the rule this year. It used to be when they would put the sticker on it, it would look like a car that drove cross country where it had a bunch of stickers, a bunch of bumper stickers, right? And so now they made a rule that you can only have the current sticker on there. And the reason for that rule, I would assume, nobody told me, is so it's much more obvious, when a Kentucky hitter's batting, does he have an Ole Miss sticker on his bat, which means it was tested, because we put our stickers on their bat and they put their stickers on our bat, and it's pretty cut and dry. Plus we got an email early, so that was a rule change this year, and then we got an email earlier this week because of what happened at A&M in Auburn a couple weeks ago, where another illegal bat was found, and so to make sure there was no question. So obviously the bat wasn't tested. Now, was it an illegal bat? It was an illegal bat because it wasn't tested. Now, was it hot or not? No, nobody knows. And at the end of the day, that's the system that we have in place right now, and I don't really know of a better one. But it is what it is.
When somebody talks about a hot bat in college baseball, what do they mean?
The bats are tested. They have specifications. One of that the bat's got to be round. It can't be dented. So there's a ring test that the bat goes under, because if it's flat, the ball can go off the bat a little harder, a little faster. And also there's a compression test that the bats are tested with. So it's an actual machine that compresses the bat to make sure that the bat isn't springier than it's supposed to be, so the ball doesn't have that trampoline effect. And that it's still in the specifications that it was made in the factory under the BB Core era, where the ball, and now you're going to get over my head, the ball's supposed to only come off the bat at a certain velocity when the ball's coming in at a certain velocity, and I don't know what those numbers are, but that the bat wasn't doctored with, or over time it has broke down and caused it to react differently.
Final thing for you, only a minute or so left. Eric Diamond on the mound. Big game in Pearl tomorrow night against a really hot Southern Miss team.
And that's the reason we're going with Derek, and kind of in this mode that we may have 5,000 to 8,000 people in the stands against a really, really good team, as you mentioned, in Southern Miss, and it's important to us. And going with the same mantra of the first guy up, and then can he get us through the first inning, 2 innings, 3 innings, and when we're when we think he can't win the game anymore, we bring another guy in and go from there.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time on these Mondays.